guys, and welcome to a video that honestly it's been an annual tradition on this channel for like a couple of years at this point. So who am I to deny it for it to make a repeat occurrence this year? It's my 2025 wrapped. We're kind of just gonna be going through my stats, my end of year stuff, all the fun goodies and whatnot. So let's hop right in because it's like a yearly thing. I love doing it every single time, and it's finally time because 2025 is over now. So for context, I generally do these much later. So at this point, it's still 1 week before the year gets over, and I generally tend to do them towards like the last couple days of the year and then post it in the new year. But the thing is, this is the first time I'm ever doing 24 days of bookmas, and today is gonna be my last day and whatnot. And I thought, what better way to end off than to kind of tie a bow on 2025 and just be done with it, alright? Because the time has flown and it's definitely been a good year for me. But at this point, I feel like the best way to conclude the 24 days was to kind of give you like a reflection on everything, which is why I'm putting this vlog here. And then maybe in the new year, we could do some like resetting vlogs, getting ready for 2026 vision boards and stuff. But this one's gonna be more primarily focused on, finishing off for this year specifically. Today's Christmas Eve, so like working on a last minute couple presents and whatnot, getting stuff ready for next year's specific vlogs that I'm planning and stuff. And then also a bunch of stats, because like my year reports have been piling in from so many apps at this point that I want to share like I do every single year. And at this point I have so many piled up. I have Goodreads, I have Spotify, I have Duolingo, I have my New York Times because I got into that this year and apparently they do that too. So this is going to be my 2025 wrapped, every single thing about my year of 2025, and that's what we're doing today. To start off with, since it is still Christmas Eve and tomorrow is still Christmas, I do want to work on getting a couple presents complete, a couple last minute things, because I'm nothing if not always every single time late, which is why let me go work on them. I'll take you guys along with me, show you them probably, because again, this video will be posted later in the night. By the time it will be out, everyone in my family will be in bed, and by the time they open their gifts tomorrow, it's not going to be like a spoiler or anything if they watch the video, so I'm not concerned about showing anything on camera anymore. But here we are. Let's start with that, and then I think as we roll into the things and whatnot, I can slowly start talking about 2025 as we're crafting and whatnot, and then show you my stats and basically wind up the year, the last day that I'll be recording in 2025. So that's also fun, but that's what we're doing. Okay, so it's like a little bit later. I absolutely lied. I lied after I cut the clip off and whatnot. My sister actually asked me if I wanted to get roped in kind of making like a Christmas cake, and I was just like, wait a sec, that's what I want to do first. And so we ended up making a cake, and we'll be cutting that at midnight for Christmas, and that's so fun. So that's what happened, because you know that I'll never say no to sweet treats. That's basically, I think, the whole point of the channel that's been established at this point, which is why that's what I ended up doing for the last like half hour or so. Now we just finished it off, and it just finished like baking and stuff, so we're waiting for it to cool down, and then around midnight and whatnot, we'll start like icing it, maybe decorate, and then we'll start like cutting it and whatnot. And so while I won't be able to show you what the final reveal looks like after it's out from the bowl and there's like decorations and stuff, you will get to see what the other clips are that I took of it, because at this point this video will be done, edited hopefully before midnight, and then by the time I cut the cake it'll be too late to include b-roll of that. So basically, just to brief you up, I did make a cake though. I didn't make it, they made it, and I was the entertainment because my mom and my sister, they did all the work. I was just there rage baiting her a little bit, just being a general pain in the ass, but then also kind of helping getting them stuff and whatnot, because they're both shorter than me, and when they needed help like grabbing stuff off of like bigger shelves and like higher stuff, that was the only thing I was doing. So that was my main purpose today, and we still succeeded because the cake looks like great, the house smells amazing, and if this recipe is like cool and whatnot, we might just make it for my dad's birthday in a couple days too. So it's like working out overall in everyone's favor, and it's so exciting too because like it's made of Oreos. Who does not love Oreos? Best flavor ever. And it's supposed to be a modification on the recipe we made back in November in a different vlog and whatnot, so I think it's perfect. Cannot wait to try it, cannot wait to just have that, because I feel like the whole point of Christmas in my head is not the presents or Santa Claus or anything else. It's sweet treats. Sorry, do not yell at me, but it's sweet treats. The entire month of December, the entire year at this point is leading up to Christmas for sweet treats, which is why here we are feeding into that obsession. But basically we did that, and now I'm gonna lock in for the gifts because she's not in the room, so I can like freely speak about it without her overhearing and then spoiling it for her. But one of the last things I want to make for her is this like little memory jar kind of thing, because one of my friends made it for me a couple years ago for my birthday, and I thought it was such like a thoughtful, sweet present, because like imagine the time that goes into figuring out what you want to write for it, and basically I want to do that for my sister now. So it's kind of like a memory jar in the sense that if you look back on it, it's also like a time capsule for that moment in your life, what you enjoyed back then, because I still have the one that my friend gave me. I still look back on it sometimes, and it's wild how much I've grown from that moment. But then it's also wild getting to look back on it and the fact that someone invested enough time so I can get that chance, which is why I want to do that for my sister. I managed to this like honey jar from the house that they had lying around that they don't need and whatnot, and because I don't like the way it looks, firstly I have my old like crafting kit and whatnot, so we'll be using all of this to kind of decorate and hopefully make it like more fun. And then now, because I have everything I need to write down on shits already saved on my phone, all I need to do is like play something, maybe like an audiobook in the background, maybe like a song, who knows, maybe the album, because I really want to listen to Reputation so bad, and just listen to that and then hopefully work on this and get that done. And it won't take so long because I've already done my research over the past few days, went down like huge Pinterest rabbit holes and stuff. I already know what I want to write. It's all on the basis of her like fandoms and stuff. I'll be doing like 7 categories because that's like her favorite number, and one of them will be BTS, and the other 7, the 6, sorry, the math is really terrible, will be the K-drama she watches, because I've been like mining her for information these days and whatnot as to what's her favorite. And so I've been able to get like references that wasn't like so hard off of Pinterest. All I need to do is like write them down and decorate the jar. And what I'll be doing for that is actually using my old like diamond painting supplies, because I've done 3 at this point in my life, and all 3 they gave like extra diamonds and extra kit stuff. So I have all of this, which is just like not used and whatnot, and like different colors and stuff, and they all like shine in the light. So what I'm thinking is I'll like get this glued up, get this like prepped up, and then start like pasting the diamonds, make it all like bejeweled, and then put the chits inside and work on that right now. And in my head it shouldn't take that long, but then it really depends. So that's activity number 1 that we'll be doing, and I'll catch up with you all in a bit once I do have it ready, because it won't take so long in my head, but I always say that and it ends up taking a couple hours anyway. So let's see, but that's goal 1. It's been about a couple hours since my last update, but I literally just locked in, started getting some of my shit done, and now I feel so much better because I'm not nearly done, but at the same time I'm also the person who goes to bed last in the family, and so I will probably be up till 4. And knowing me, because I'm up till 4, I'll get all of my other stuff done. And because today is also the last day of like bookmas and stuff, I don't have to worry about what I'll be recording tomorrow. So doing like prep for tomorrow's video, I don't have to do any of that tonight. I just have to edit and post, which means the other prep time I can actually use it in finishing off the stuff I need to finish, which is why I'm not too worried. But to catch you up, the first thing I ended up doing was going ahead and decorating the honey jar. It's drying, but all I did basically was like start diamond painting the top of it with like the excess diamonds I had left over from my other paintings and whatnot. And first I was gonna do like a random design, but then it randomly just hit me, why not put the BTS logo on the top of the cap, because she's obsessed with them as a band. It's not like commercial or anything, it's just something I'm giving her for her to keep for herself. So it's not like illegal for me to be putting their logo and stuff, because I'm not selling it off, which means I decided that, you know what, that's what I'll do, and that's what I basically did. So I'm going to cut this clip so you can actually see it. And all I'm gonna say is it took so long. It's still drying over there, that's why I don't want to like mess with it and whatnot. So I'm waiting for the jar to get done, and hopefully by the time now that I go down for dinner and by the time I get back up and I'm done with editing the video and stuff, by the time the video is posting, this one, I can go ahead and then start writing down the stuff I need to on the chits, because I have everything sorted. I actually went back and aligned it all in my notes, so I just have to look and basically just copy everything that's written down, which won't take so long because I'm not really fast at writing, but it's not a lot anyway, so I'll be fine. And so that's gift number 1. Number 2, I don't know if y'all necessarily remember, but earlier in this year, I actually started this like shawl scarf thing for my mom that I wanted to give her for my birthday and stuff, and this is what I'm speaking about. But the thing is, looking back, because it's cold season now, it's actually the time of the year that she'll be using this. She likes the kind of scarf shawl things that actually wrap around fully and can keep wrapping, because like it gets really cold here in my hometown, which means she needs something that can protect against the cold, and this is more decorative, and there's nothing wrong with that, but she just wanted something bigger so she can get more use out of it. And so she actually herself offered she'd like hand this into some sort of tailor or someone who can actually fix it up and like add fabric on both the ends and whatnot, because it isn't very long. I know in the video it doesn't look small, but it is kind of in comparison to what she really wants. And so she thought that on either end she can just get extra fabric attached, so it becomes like the length she wants and she'll use it that way. Except in my opinion, it kind of defeats the purpose of the whole crocheted stuff, because like that's not crochet anymore, it's just fabric. And so I figured I'd offer, and because she agreed, I'll just continue to extend on it both ways. But then the problem is I bought this yarn that I used in this about 3-4 years ago at this point, so it's really old. And while I know the place where I bought it from, they don't sell this specific color anymore in that brand and whatnot. So I'm actually substituting and using this other one I have in my collection, also bought from a couple years ago. And I have lots of this. I have this, and I have one big one still there in the packaging. So I'm not like worried. This one's called Bernat Velvet. I have no idea what the color is called. It's Velveteal. This is what the packaging looks like in case anyone cares and whatnot. But I have this. So I'm going to be substituting this and cutting the scarf out. And I have no delusions as to thinking that, oh, I'll start today and finish tomorrow in time for Christmas. That's not happening, because this already took me 6 months. Which is why I'm only casting it on. And I finished that too. And I'll cut the clip and show you what it looks like. But at this point, I'm only casting it on, so I already have it ready as a project to go back to in 2026, because then if I continue working on it, I can re-gift it to her for her birthday for 26. Except it'll actually be something she gets more use out of, because in my opinion, I might as well make something and go the full mile for her to actually get the use out of it, rather than something that's just rotting in the cupboard. So that's what I'm working on right now. I just cast it on. I'm looking up the pattern again that I used for this originally, the video and stuff, so I can refamiliarize myself with it and get back into it in the new year, because that is also something that'll be happening. Because again, it's definitely something that we can work on together like we did all throughout last year, and I need it basically double in the length of what it is right now. So if I start right now early, I'll get in time for her birthday in May, which will be perfect. So that's also something I did, because then, you know, we can make videos together in the new year, kind of reading a bunch of books, working on this, and I thought that would be fun and cool too. And if I cast it off starting 2025 now, by the time I get to 26, I won't be overwhelmed with it. I know I'll actually get to it, because I know it's on my radar, it's on my plate. I've already started the casting on, so it's not like a big deal, because it's in front of my face anyway. It's not going to be an out of sight, out of mind kind of situation, which is why I got this ready too. And because I don't want to overwhelm myself going into 2026, jumping into a bunch of projects, I'm just keeping this ready already so I can directly like start when I have to. And this is the next thing. The third thing I ended up doing was actually sitting down and getting ready for the second model I'm supposed to be making for my model engineering class for college. And while I haven't like done a lot on it, those definitely do end up taking time, I still got like the bare bones ready, and I'll work on it now throughout the rest of my vacation and whatnot, because we have a few days off college, which is perfect, so I can like finish it off. And because now there won't be any more videos and vlogmas every day, it's kind of perfect because I have the time to actually work on it and finish it out. And maybe if I still have it, if I haven't submitted it by the time the new year rolls around and I'm recording some other vlog, I'll show you what it turns out like. But it's supposed to be this like diamond and stuff. I don't have a reference photo to show you, but it's one of those like stereotypical diamonds you see in like video games and stuff, like the big fat ones. So I'll be making that, and I did start for that, so this is the clip. But now I think that's about it. All I really want to go is kind of call it a day, kind of go have dinner with my family. I know my mom's made pasta today, my favorite kind, which I'm so excited to go have that. I want to go sit down, watch the tree, because we'll have it up I think halfway into January, but then at that point then it's gonna go down soon, and that's kind of disheartening, because like I'll have to wait a whole year then for the tree to go back up, which is why I want to sit, I want to have a good time with them all, hang out, watch my tree, and that's about it. So before we end the vlog, I actually came in to give you my wrap up for this year, as promised, all the stats that I've been collecting. At this point I was so scared that a couple of them wouldn't come in time for this video, and then I'd have to like postpone it somehow and whatnot, but everything made it in time. I got my very last one last night, and so it feels like perfect timing, feels full circle. So I think we can just start with the order I started getting them in. The first one I got was my Spotify Wrapped, which I think is the most fun of them all. My top artists are all the same 5 from last year and every single time, because like honestly at this point we all know I'll always stay the same. I'm never gonna change at this point. I think it's kind of obvious and it's kind of expected, because like going into it, these are the only people I actually truly listen to and enjoy the music of, which is why I'm not gonna change it, because if I know I enjoy my formula, why should I mess it up for myself? So Taylor Swift, 5 Seconds of Summer, One Direction, Luke, and then Harry. It does make sense. And the thing is, I know Taylor's first number year, considering the fact that it's always been 5 stars for the last couple years, but at this point there wasn't any new music from them, and Taylor did come up with some new music. And then not just that, their own new music, 5 stars, the new album, it came out after I think Spotify stopped like recording the records and stuff stats for this year, which at that point I think I'd already listened to more Taylor anyway, so it wasn't going to alter the results even if it came or it didn't. So maybe next year you'll see them at my number 1, but it's not the end of the world because they're still number 2. They'll still be there. I'll always just listen. And Taylor, I've been getting more into her music this year because like at this point I still haven't listened to her whole backlist, but there's so much and she's always got a song for every mood. So it kind of works. I'm so happy with the way it turned out, and no like shocking surprises there because we all expected this from a mile away. Spotify Wrapped hates to see me coming, and here we are. Top albums though, I can't believe it. Tortured Poets was number 1. I didn't expect that, but at the same time I've been listening to so much of it that it does make sense. And the others as well. They're all such banger albums. I don't think I'll ever switch up the recipe, so I expect them to be in my top for next year too. If there's any other like Wrapped stuff that I'm forgetting to kind of speak about, I'm glossing over, I'll have it on screen. But I'll have like my total minutes on screen for you. I'll have it converted so you can see how many days I was listening to music. And you know, all the other fun nitty-gritties, but that'll also be on screen. So that was basically my Spotify Wrapped. Now my Duolingo Wrapped, because I do believe that came out later as well. They call it the 2025 year in review and stuff, but in my head it's the Duolingo Wrapped. So this one, I've been doing French on Duolingo, but then this year I actually branched out and I started chess because I didn't know they have it, but then I got like an advertisement for it and I was like, wait a sec, that sounds fun. And ever since I started, every day before bed at night, as I'm like trying to unwind on my phone before I go finally on my Kindle, read a couple chapters and get to bed, for some reason I've been loving playing like a chess match every single day. So while I did do quite a bit of French in comparison, I didn't do as much as last year because then I got sidetracked mid-year onwards once I started the chess, and at this point I haven't looked back. So hopefully next year I'll do more French because I still try to pull in a lesson or two every day, but I've been focusing more on chess and my game has definitely improved, so that's been fun too. But then I think the Wrapped only shows my French scores, so I don't know what it is with that, but I'm not complaining either way because I did do quite a bit of learning on here and I'm kind of happy about my progress and results, because it's always good to like learn something in your free time and always good to expand and evolve on what you already have and kind of enhance your own foundation to be a better version of yourself than every single day, because you keep changing. If you think about it, you aren't the same person today that you were yesterday, and every single day you keep evolving. And so if you speed up the process and give yourself more to evolve over and give yourself more in a sense that you're actually enjoying but you're also building upon yourself, it's like you're investing time in yourself and putting it in the good. And I don't know, that thought really makes me happy, and so happy with this too. Next up we have my New York Times puzzles. Now this year I really got into these and I'm so happy I did. There's 4 games I play on like a daily basis. So I play the Wordle, I play Sudoku, Connections and Strands in that order specifically, and Sudoku is definitely my favorite of all 4. I look forward to it every day, but the rest of them, they're still fun to go at. And this was my Wrap for this. I didn't know they had a Wrap, so the day it came out I was just like shook and having the best time like looking at it. And all I'll say is, before anyone like yells at me for like looking at hints and stuff in strands, do keep in mind I have like really bad patience, so at some point once I'm like done trying to crap my head over it, and if I can't get it, I definitely do look up hints. And I feel like the only one puzzle that they do keep talking about, the one that I didn't look up hints on, was either the one that was involving Shakespeare earlier this month and whatnot, or it was the one involving like English sentence types and stuff and the words that I used in that, because like at this point that's literally what I've been studying up until last year compulsorily, and so it does make sense that those are the only things I actually know without hints. But regardless, I'm happy with the way it turned out anyway. Even today's was so fun to me. I actually screenshot it because I wanted to show it to you. I did it earlier in the afternoon, but it was all these like different terms for like warm and cozy, and I feel like it just makes sense for this time of the year because it's Christmas Eve. That's literally the only spirit and goal you need to keep going. But that's definitely something that happened. And then my final one that I have to give you is my Goodreads Wrapped. So I genuinely didn't know if this was coming and when it would end up coming, because like they generally come towards the end of the year, and because I post in the new year my Wrapped and stuff, it doesn't affect me. But then this time around I wanted to have it in time for this video, and I'm so happy it did because I've been checking every day and it came last night. And then there's this thing called my year in books, wherein you upload your Goodreads link and that kind of generates your year in books as well, because I do believe the creator, his like sister, has written a book and she kind of challenged him to like do like a almost like a Goodreads Wrapped for people who want it, and so he did it. And I think that's so cool. Honestly, go check it out if you haven't already, because that idea is like genius. But I put mine in for that as well. And on Goodreads it says I read 250 books because I did go ahead and do a bunch of rereads and stuff, and so there's all of that. But on my year in books and whatnot, it says 241. So did we get lost in translation or what happened? Because this has happened like one time before, I think in 2023, wherein the number was not matching up, and I think it's because I reread. So I don't know, I'm not really sure, but I don't mind either way. It's just that the Goodreads one is more accurate, and so here we are. At this point, what I did go back and do as well, because I'm nosy, I'm inquisitive, I still want to know the exacts. What I did do was I went to my year in books, and it kind of shows you how many minutes you spend total reading and the number of pages, and actually divided the two of them so you can figure out how many minutes it took you to read one page. Not necessarily specific to each person because everyone reads at different speeds, but I feel like it's an overall like basic one that works for everyone, so it's not the end of the world. And I actually took that and multiplied it by my actual page count that shows on Goodreads, and I think it like comes up to, I'm not really sure, but like easily like 100 days worth of reading or something like that. So that's crazy. I'll have that on screen as well, which means I spent like about a third of my year just reading, which I'm happy about. No regrets there, because I know most of it was like audiobook and stuff while I was doing other things and stuff, so like working for college and commuting and doing all these other things. But yeah, regardless, I'm really happy with the way it turned out, because my goal originally for my Goodreads this year was like about 100 books, and I easily overtook that by 250. And at this point in the year, I'm gonna say it aloud right now, I'm not gonna be reading, or I might start a couple books, but I won't actually go through with finishing anything in the next 1 week that I'll be taking off from YouTube in my break and whatnot, because I want to reinvigorate my spark for reading, simply because all the Christmas romances I've been reading, they put me in a bit of like a slump wherein I don't want to read books anymore. I'm not having fun with them, and so I want to take a break. I'll get back to it in the new year. Already excited for that, and that'll happen, but that's also something I'll be doing. So it's gonna stay at 250, the number this year, which is why this is gonna be my final Goodreads wrapped as well. And also because I don't want to spoil that number, because 250 is such like a perfect number in my opinion that it should stay that way and just keep it that way. But that's also something that happened. And finally, my 2025, the whole year in an overview, because we are done with all the wraps that I needed to show you. All I'm gonna say is this year I went through like a bunch of changes wherein I finished out high school, I enlisted for college, and then got into one I actually wanted to, and I'm so happy with the way everything's turned out. Because I'll be so for real with you, when you watch people on your screen and whatnot, you don't necessarily know what's going on in different people's lives behind the camera and stuff, because it's very easy to like fake a smile and just sit down and pretend everything's okay when it's not. And so all I'll say is, going into 2025, easily 24 was the worst year of my life because of many things that happened, and maybe one day I'll sit down and discuss when I actually feel like it, but at the moment I don't think so. And so going into 25, I was in a better space than I was in 24, but at least going out of it, all I'm gonna say is this year was so healing for me, in the sense that I can already see a drastic change in my mental health as compared to like the beginning of the year and now, because I'm genuinely happy where I am. I'm surrounded with good people all around me, everyone who's like genuinely happy for my accomplishments and stuff, who's lifting me up rather than dragging me down. And like honestly, all I'm gonna say is the kind of support system I have at this point, and the kind of friends I've made and whatnot, and people who genuinely make me happy to be around, I'm so happy I got to it at this point. And so all I'll say is 25 was such a good year for me in comparison to everything else, because I feel like I'm in such a great position as compared to where I was at the beginning of the year. And so I'm happy with the way this year turned out. I know a lot of people online say that this wasn't their favorite year and stuff, and again, it's not the end of the world. You don't have to compare with anyone else. You may have a good year, you may not. It's very subjective, but at the same time, me personally, this one was great, and I'm really happy with the turn events took and stuff. The way it genuinely felt like everything I've ever wanted was like falling into my lap this year. And so all I'll say is it was a perfect year, and it feels so incredible sitting down and saying that I can call it an incredible year now. It's done, and it feels weird looking back because where did the time go? But regardless, it was such a great year overall, and so good for me that all I'm gonna say is I'm happy with the turn things took. I'm happy with the way everything's turned out at this point. I'm happy with how I'm settled down at the moment, and so no regrets there. 25 was easily one of the best years I've ever had. And so with that, I think we can call this video an end and whatnot, because that was my year in a reflection. So much better again than the way last year went, and already I'm so happy and so excited for like 2026, because again, all I want is a good year like 25, the one I already had, because that was great. But yeah, I have a few goals for 26. Again, same ones like last year, wherein I want to be more bright and positive in the new year. Just look at the good things and stuff and focus on that. Continue reworking on my reading journal and stuff and actually going deep into that. And also the third thing I want to focus on is when I actually get like tasks assigned to me, I want to get to them as soon as I get them rather than putting them off. Because this year, as compared to like college assignments and stuff, I would like follow the well-practiced rule that every other kid does, wherein the due date isn't until like the due date, and that is not okay as compared to the kind of marathons I've been running these days, and with a poor sleep schedule and stuff, trying to get my shit done with. So hopefully next year I'll be better on that, wherein I actually get my shit done in time, before time, hopefully get better at responding to my texts and all those other fun things. But yeah, that's also something I want to do. I want to get more deeper into journaling. I want to watercolor like I wanted to last year, but I never actually got to it this year. And there's a bunch of other things I want to do, but in an overview, I think all I want to do is focus on my happy creative side, because that's the side that genuinely fulfills me, and that's literally all I want for 26. So that's what I'll be doing. All I do know throughout it all though is that I'll be taking you guys along with me for every step of the journey in the way through. And so with that, I think we have reached the end of this video. At this point, this will be my last vlog that I'll be uploading this year specifically. You'll see me now directly in the next year. Not really sure when, but I do know that I want at least 1 week's worth of break, because I've been editing for the past like 24 days on a continuous loop, and all I want is basically today night I'll be editing, but tomorrow I want to celebrate my Christmas. I want to go to bed knowing that I don't have to like edit anything, and I can just like relax and have a good time. And so that's what I'll be doing. I'll be taking a few days off, but you all will see me very soon in 26. And until then, I will be crafting and getting the reading journal vlog done, so you can definitely look forward to that in the new year, and we'll set up our journals together. But that's happening. And until then, I'm gonna go now. I'll go have my dinner. I'll go focus on my Christmas gifts and stuff. I'll go wait for midnight so we can cut our cake and have a good time with that. But that's basically it for today's vlog. That's basically it for this year and whatnot. So thankful for all of you guys who came along with me in this entire journey, whether you joined the channel this year, last year, whenever. I'm still so happy you're here, and so happy and thankful that everyone sat down to watch this bookmas with me, because it was 24 days and maybe you're sick of me at this point, who knows. But regardless, thank you for coming along with me for every single day of it, because it was so fun overall to do, and who knows, maybe next day as well. It really just depends. But until then, now that we have reached the end of this video, like, comment, share, subscribe, YouTube things. I had a fun time overall, and now I directly see you in the new year, because it's not our daily routine anymore. Our routine finishes today, which is why bookmas is over. I'll see you next year. Feels so surreal to say, but I'll see you where we'll be resetting. We'll be making a bunch of vision boards. We'll be doing all these other fun vlogs that I have in mind that I'm so excited to get to. And so until then, take care, stay safe. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great new year coming up ahead. Wishing you all love, success, prosperity, joy, and hope you could ever want and deserve. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season. Now I'll see you next year, and until then, bye.